comes the money.
Here we go.
Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
3, 2, 1. Hello. That's all I'm going to say first intro. So, I wanted to make a podcast for a while. It's been something I've wanted to do for a while. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, it'd be fun if I ran my own podcast. But then again, podcasts are kind of boring when it's just me talking. I'm not expecting 100 people. If you hear a bunch of shaking or collar moving, that's because I have a cat in here. But I usually do. I really wanted to make a podcast for a while, but then I realized that you kind of have to have more than one person on a podcast for it to be good. But then I realized that for our first episode, we might as well kind of just go small. So I'm just going to do this video by myself. Later, we'll get some other people on here. And yeah, let's talk about some movies and stuff, because welcome to M.T.S. the Shark Movie Reviews. Okay, so I have a list of 5 things we're going to do today. Or I guess 6, but that would be including the intro and the outro. We're going to talk about some KFDM Studios stuff for my movies, essentially. We're going to talk about the Rocketman trailer. Interestingly, I want to talk about that trailer a bit. I want to talk about the Captain Marvel controversy before that movie comes out. Then Planes is the actual movie I'm going to discuss today with you guys. So, the first thing I'm talking about, KFDM Studios. So if you guys don't know what this is, it's essentially, so I make movie reviews for a reason, because I have a passion in film, and I make movie reviews because I thought reviewing movies sounds fun. That's basically why I do it, and then I've gotten very interested in critiquing movies and almost studying them, because the last year in 2018 of me seeing as many movies as I did, it very much gave me a perception of film and kind of how to make competent movies. Not great movies, definitely not, but competent movies. And this is an interesting thing because I have, like, over the last year, me seeing as many movies as I have, it has given me a wider spectrum. And our first 2 movies are not very competent. The first one, Transfers, not competent. Chicken Mask 2, the 3 of those aren't that competent of films. But of upcoming releases, the first one we have in April is The Jaeger, which I weirdly kind of excited for people to see. I kind of want to see how that one gets received. Not because it's a weird, wacky movie or anything. It's not that much different from the average movie you'll see, average action or whatever movie you see, drama, I guess thriller. If anything, it's a thriller, but it's probably an action movie if we have to consider it something. But it's the best movie we've made. That's a loose term to call it a best movie we've made, considering the fact that we haven't made anything that good yet. And it's definitely not good, but the movie is at least competently structured. And it's kind of hard to explain. I can give my opinions on it because I'm the entire leader of KFDM, so I can just say what I think on the movies. Definitely not great, but definitely my favorite movie we're releasing. And it will be interesting to see what people think on the movie. Then after that, we have the very anticipated Transfer Hitman's Code. I am very, very interested to see how this one gets received. Because, in my opinion, over the course of, at least in the KFDM Studios category, I have mixed feelings on it. That's the best way to describe it. I have interesting and weird feelings on it. I could see it being a very unsatisfying to the whole hype up or whatever, but I could see it being a satisfying movie. And I'm not sure. I can't spoil anything, but I'm not sure how it'll be received. And then after that, we have Night Owl, which is when I'm the main reason why I'm talking about KFDM. Night Owl is the movie. The whole point of the movie was that I could see if I could film an entire movie by myself, and it's almost an experience. The entire movie is basically an experiment. And I was thinking I could release it in March, but then again I thought about it, and I would think I'd want to release it in late March to build up hype, and then again it would be 2 weeks before the Jaeger, and I'm really wanting to build up hype for that one. And then I wouldn't release it after the Jaeger, because after the Jaeger is the Hitman's Code hype. So I was like, after Hitman's Code, we'll release it. So June 14th is the release of that one. It's interesting. It's a weirder film. It's not the type of movie we've made yet. I guess I'm the only one who made the movie. I wrote, acted, directed, produced the entire thing. it's, like I said, very different. And that term I'm going to use loosely because it's different from our other movies, definitely. But the movie is farly slower. It is a slower movie. It is the longest movie we've made. It's slow, and it's a psychological film. The trailer poses it as a thriller, or a horror or whatever, but it's really not that. It's more of this mind study, or it's really an interestingly weird movie, and I had fun making it, and I'm interested to see what reception it'll get because, like I said, it's weird and wacky and it's very different. It's definitely more of an art house, low budget, independent film. If I had to put it in any category, like let's say Hitman's Code, Jaeger, Transfer, all of those go into the action category and big blockbuster category, let's in KFDM Studios terms. And then this one comes into the category of independent indie films, stuff like that, which are a genre I'm really gonna see more movies from. There are a lot of independent indie films that I skipped last year, and I guess I did see some more limited releases. Like I went to find a theater to see Won't You Be My Neighbor, and I didn't find a theater to see Three Identical Strangers. I rented that one, and both of those movies I adored. And I guess I also searched at a theater for Free Solo, and I don't know if I can think of another release I went to search a theater. Another thing is independent films are commonly rated R. It's very rare because the thing about a PG-13 rating is, I'll be honest, the majority of the time you rate a movie PG-13, you are rating it that so it can make more money and you can get teenagers on board for the movie. That is the exact point of PG-13. So I don't necessarily blame people because when you make an art house indie film, you're not making it for money. You're making it most likely because you have a passion for film, but no one will give you a big budget. So you work with the budget you have, or maybe your own money, or maybe your own crew, and then you make a movie. Technically, that's every single one of our movies, but I have definitely grown more acume to, like with Hitman's Code and Jaeger, I was following a huge budget Hollywood movie style. And with Night Owl, I am definitely going more of this indie route. I don't know if that one will be considered a horrible, boring, god-awful movie or an intriguing mind study, or maybe just in the middle. My opinion on the movie, I can't really rate it, to be honest, but I can't say, to be honest. It's not because, like, spoilers or anything, but I really can't say whether I think it's a competently good movie or a competently bad movie. It's competent, okay? It's not incompetent. Next thing. So now KFDM Studios. Off of that, new releases that are not even officially announced. CM3, Chicken Mass 3. That's happening. That is really all I can say about it. Another thing, Transfer 2. That's happening. It's happening. There. Jaeger 2. Probably not happening. That's all I can say. Beyond that, we're working on maybe slower films, Night Owl style films. Night Owl is definitely going to be the wackiest movie we make for a while. But we're going to work on some definitely lower budget movies. I think I'm going to work on something that kind of falls in between the Hitman's Code multiple month production huge thing, which by the Transfer 2 is that. Yes, it's not a low budget movie. That is a bigger movie. We're spending a couple months on that movie, and I don't even get to film until March 30th. And then I get to edit and complete it. And yeah, and then it will be released sometime in late 2019 or early 2020. And that's the best I can say about Transfer 2. I can't say anything about that movie. Literally nothing can slip. So yeah, beyond that, yeah, that's what we got for KFDM Studios. Next thing, weirdly, I really want to talk about the Rocketman trailer, and I'm not sure why, to be honest. I think it's more of this intrigue by it, because I like Elton John a lot. From what I've heard, I definitely need to get more into him. I've never gone full on, let's listen to every single Elton John track, or what I did with Queen, where I got very into them. And Queen is, I've been so into them ever since Bohemian Rhapsody, that they've been like my number one music. Ever since I was like, hey, you want to listen to a song, I'll usually say Radio Gaga, or Don't Stop Me Now, or Another One Bites the Dust. I never say Bohemian Rhapsody, because that's a slow song. A great song. My favorite song, but slow song. Definitely slow. What else do I got? Oh yeah, the Rocketman trailer. Biopics. Okay, so I've just seen the biopic for Fighting with My Family at this point. In fact, I am going to do this real quickly because I need to upload that video tonight. Yeah, at this point, I am not done with the video. The stupid dank, or whatever you want to call it, the video that is titled Fighting with My Family Movie Review. I don't know why I worded it that way, but the Rocketman really is interesting to me. I'm really excited, to be honest. The thing about Rocketman is that biopics are very interesting to me, especially musical biopics, because I never saw Straight Outta Compton. I really want to, but I've never seen Straight Outta Compton. And there's not as many musical biopics that I can think of. Like, you could think, oh, every big artist gets one, and then no. But I'm very thankful Queen gets one of their own because of the legendary almost change in music they had. But I'm really looking to see, and I'm confused why we're getting Elton John after Queen. Like, let's give us some. I think Michael Jackson would be a very interesting story to tell. Okay, so Michael Jackson movie. Let's name it Thriller, and it could be a Thriller. No, the reason why I say we should name it Thriller is because that was his studio album, which sold like 60 million plus copies back in the day, like in the 80s or whatever when it was released. I feel like that should be what it's called because it was their biggest hit. Bohemian Rhapsody is called Bohemian Rhapsody because that was like their legendary song. Rocketman is called Rocketman because that's considered Elton John's best song, even though that's up for debate with songs like Tiny Dancer and what was the other one? Oh yeah, Benny and the Jets. Rocketman, Tiny Dancer, Benny and the Jets. All three great songs. And I'm excited to see the movie, mainly because I really enjoyed Bohemian Rhapsody. Didn't love it, see why some people don't like it. What I liked out of Bohemian Rhapsody was the Queen music. I say this in my Fighting with My Family review, but Bohemian Rhapsody would have been not good without Queen. Queen saves the whole thing with the sequence, another one by Stardust sequence, the We Will Rock You sequence, the Bohemian Rhapsody sequence. Some sequences in that movie are perfect because it's Queen music. Rami Malek kills it in that movie. I'm really excited to see what Taron Egerton does in that movie because what have I seen him in? I saw he's in Kingsman. Great in Kingsman. He sells the role perfectly. In Robin Hood, no, that's the best I can say. And Sing, the Illumination garbage. He's not good in that. It's not very good in that movie. He's fine in it, I guess. He's an anime character. But what he did prove in that movie is that he can sing an Elton John song. So, yeah, there's that. I think it's a great casting for Elton John. They look similar enough. He has enough charisma. I think he'll kill it in the role, and even though it's some speculations over on Instagram or Twitter whether he is gay, I think it'd be great on like March 30th. Hey everyone, guess what? I'm gay. Go see Rocketman. I would like that. And the thing about Rocketman is I'm not expecting it to do all that well, mainly because Bohemian Rhapsody happened, and what was it again? Oh yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody's happened, and Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is by far the more anticipated movie I'm seeing. I'll probably upload my Rocketman review on the 30th first. And Godzilla will upload on the 30th. By God, am I hyped for Godzilla. The new TV spot they released a couple weeks ago was so epic. I can't wait. Rocketman looks also really great. I'm really interested to see how this movie plays out. I don't think it'll suck. I think it'll be good. I think it will be a good emotional journey. Maybe I'm being manipulated by the way the trailer's just like, oh, look, Tiny Dancer. You love Tiny Dancer, right? And I'm like, frick yeah, Tiny Dancer's great. But I think I'm going to love them. I don't know if I'll love it because I didn't love Bohemian Rhapsody, but I'll probably quite like the movie. It gives me the same hype that the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer did. I was really excited for Bohemian Rhapsody mainly because love Queen. The trailers were all great. And even though in the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer 2, they play another one by Stardust for exactly 5 seconds. Next thing we're talking about today is the annoying Captain Marvel controversy. I don't feel like searching up the tweet that, what's her name? I'm going to search it up. The Brie Larson original tweet that apparently has caused all of this controversy. But I'm going to search it up real quickly. Wait. Alright, let's see if I can find it. I think I got it right here. Is this it? Oh, no. What did I just do? No. Get back. Okay, sorry, this is probably really awkward. It's revealed by... Okay. I don't know what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find the tweet that apparently Brie Larson said she wanted her movie to be diverse. And celebrities are dumb. Like it's obvious. Celebrities kill their entire career day after day on Twitter. It's funny sometimes, but it's sometimes also sad. And I don't think Brie Larson can kill her career by simply with this. And a lot of people are saying, she lost Marvel $100 million. I kind of think that's funny that people believe Marvel will lose $100 million. Some people are saying this is the end of Marvel. Because, they'll cancel Endgame and Far From Home because Brie Larson tweeted something. But, the tweet, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with a bit of diversity here and there. Here's literally the YouTube comment I found. I'm not going to search it up right now because I don't know if I'll find it. But on the Captain Marvel trailer, I found the comment that said this. When Brie Larson says that she doesn't want any white men seeing her movie, and then after the movie, no white men see her movie and she'll be mad and call them all racist. Well, the thing is that she didn't tweet that. So now we're at this, and that proved to me, we're at this low point in the internet where when someone says that they want their movie to be a diverse movie, that equals they don't want white men seeing their movie. That is freaking embarrassing. Like, it's embarrassing that this is the exact level of society we're at. Like, I can't say whatever I want to. I mean, at least I'm only at like 100 subs, which is definitely not career. There's no career to kill. That's the best way I would word it. But I can't believe that, like, we have to, the news and people have to twist. I don't even blame that guy. I think that he just read somewhere that she said that. Maybe some news article, because that news article wants to take down companies, because we're at this low, whereas someone is at a higher point than us, we have to twist their words, and we have to take them down. And I've really been interested in the way that we people love being the victim of some situation. It's so weird, but when you are the victim, you're in the right most likely, and I've experienced this all the time. Like sometimes there's a satisfaction in being the victim, because you're like, I'm in the right now. I did nothing wrong. I am being taken down on for something I didn't do. There is a satisfaction of being the victim, and I go to school, I see drama every day. I see kids say the stupid crap that they hear on the internet, and then they say it to all their friends, and it's completely stupid how this works. And it's a psychological thing that people want to be the victim. I don't know if this Captain Marvel thing is exactly tied to that. What I do think it's tied to is people, honestly, there's a lot of people who wants to come. It's almost like this. So, remember Black Panther? Well, what was happening when that movie got released? Praise among praise. Critics loved it. Everyone who had seen it was like, holy crap, that was amazing. And I love Black Panther. And I saw it and I loved it. But most people that came out of the movie right after were like, great, loved it. But what happens when the movie grosses $1 billion in the U.S. and makes grosses $1 billion worldwide and $700 million in the U.S.? What do we do at this point? Well, people turn on it, and then they call it crap, and then they say, your movie is garbage. We don't like it. And this is what happens to companies. When they are given success after success after success, people turn on it. I don't know what that is, to be honest. And I think it's, once again, one other thing that I think a lot of people are satisfied by is not being part of the crowd. It's another middle school thing. And like I say, my dad is a middle school teacher. For 20 years. So he tells me all the time, oh, middle schoolers do this and that, which has very much helped me be a more controlled middle schooler at my school. So I'm definitely more of a quiet, controlled person there. But the internet works like a middle schooler. The satisfaction of being the victim, the turning on something when it gets really popular, it's a satisfaction that people have, and I can feel it sometimes. And sometimes I can't blame them when it's like, I'm sick of this, I'm done with this, because I don't like Ed Sheeran fairly because he's so overplayed. Even though I never even liked Castle on the Hill, I hate the song now because I've heard it so many times. Shape of You, not my thing. Heard it so many times. What's a couple other songs he's made? Think Out Loud I still like, but Ed Sheeran's been played so many times. I'm sick of the stuff, and I don't think I'll ever like Ed Sheeran, to be honest. But why? Because he was praising stuff. I've gotten sick. I never was into Ariana Grande, but I've definitely gotten more sick of songs like Problem or Focus or songs like that I kind of used to like a while ago, but don't like anymore because they were overplayed. Actually, those two I just don't like. I used to like them, then I don't now because they're just... I just kind of realized they suck. I mean, I'll say this. I liked her new album, the album Thank You Next. I have a ranking of the album on my music channel. I listened to it. I quite liked the album. I don't know if I enjoyed the album for the most part. Didn't really dislike it. I didn't dislike any tracks. I didn't love any tracks. There were a couple I really liked, like Bloodline. I really liked Thank You Next anyway. The song is pretty good. But this is ADHD. I get off track and then I talk about things that are not related to the subject. The Captain Marvel controversy. But like I said, we're still on this point of when something gets super popular, people turn on it. And I think that's what's happening with Marvel. And now we need something to strike Marvel at. Something that we're just like, we hate that thing. We hate Marvel now because they made this one mistake. Or they flopped this one time. And technically, this is a very loose thing. And I don't want people to quote me on this. But when sometimes it'll be like, okay, here's one thing. The opinion on a movie and what the reviews were and what the audiences thought on it is not the determining thing whether the movie was a success or not. It's the money. That is what it all comes down to, because you can never deny if a movie was successful or not. It is not really an opinion that Avengers Infinity War was a success, because in movie money terms, what is a success? I'd say it's making money. And Infinity War made hundreds of millions of dollars, around $500 million, if you do the math with theater admission and marketing sales. The movie made around $500 million. $500 million. That is an insane amount of money. So we can all agree that was a big hit. And technically, if you really want to think about it, a movie doesn't bomb a movie is a failure if it loses money. Not if it disappoints, but if it loses money specifically. Solo, failure, lost $100 million. Mortal Engines, failure, lost $100 million. Alita Battle Angel, future tense, failure, because it lost $200 million because no one's going to see the dang thing. Actually, I want to real quickly check. Did Alita bomb or not? Like I really, really expected it to. I mean, you have what is it? What do we call it again? Oh yeah, it's what is the budget to that movie? I think it's $200 million. Yeah, it's something. I'm forgetting. So it had a huge budget or something. I'm forgetting what it was. But yeah, $200 million. $200 million. That was the budget. I'm looking at the box office right now. I'm laughing at a couple things. Glass did so much worse than Split. Lego Movie 2 is technically speaking a failure unless it makes money. If it makes money, we got a success here. But the movie's grossed $86 million in its 22 debut. Lego Batman grossed to $139 million. How to Train Your Dragon 3 is not doing as well as the second one, which makes sense. But Alita Battle Angel, okay, so let's see. Alita Battle Angel currently right now has a worldwide of almost $300 million. That is impressive, and I do think it'll pull more out than $300 million. It's not doing fantastic in the U.S. It's got like $66 million in the U.S., so that's not great. It's not bad. It's definitely not great. I think the movie will turn out a profit. Yeah, I think Alita will turn out a profit. I don't think we're looking at a bomb here. But the predictions were at $200 million loss. And that was looking very apparent to me. What is How to Train Your Dragon doing? I think it's doing great. I think it is, but I'm not sure. Yep, it's doing great. Alright, so back on the topic of, what was it, Captain Marvel. We've gone so off track here. Captain Marvel. People like to turn on movies. And like I said, box office is the final determining thing. So this entire argument can be determined. Is Captain Marvel a failure or not? Did Brie Larson ruin Marvel? Whether the movie turns out a success. I am definitely... if I had to put money on one side, I would definitely put money on it. Will be a success. It'll turn out a profit. Because no one really cares what another person tweeted. It happens before where things bomb. And you might think, wait, but you would have thought this on Solo. But Solo bombed. And yes, you are correct. Solo was a box office flop. But what happened before Solo? What 3 dangerous words happened before Solo? The Last Jedi happened before Solo. I call it dangerous because it is, I don't know, is that the most divisive movie in cinema history? I mean, there's Donnie Darko was one other one that was super divisive. Suicide Squad literally set up the dumbest petition I've ever seen. Batman vs. Superman, very divisive movies, but I think Last Jedi reigns it because it was the determining factor to make a movie flop at the box office. Solo: A Star Wars Story flopped at the box office because fans kind of got together to make it bomb. They did an effort. But the tweet is not going to spread enough for Captain Marvel to bomb. The Rotten Tomatoes, I am so happy with this final decision. The wanna-see score on Rotten Tomatoes is gone. I'm so happy. I hate the audience score in general on Rotten Tomatoes, but let's see. What is Greta's audience score? I mean, okay, Greta's audience score is 43%, but let's see a movie that hasn't come out yet, Captain Marvel. Oh, wait. No score available. But you can say you want to see it now. Oh, let's see. What does the kid have on an audience score? Oh, the kid. What is it, that Magnificent 7 ripoff, which I am going to talk about on this series probably. See, look. You can't say it anymore. Thank you for removing that, because I hated it. And I hit the audience score, and I'm so thankful. So happy. I'm so happy that they finally removed that, because it was the dumbest part of Rotten Tomatoes to have a want-to-see score. Oh, how many people wanted to see this movie? How many people didn't want to see this movie? No one cares. I don't care. Any Marvel is going to be a 99% unless you're Captain Marvel. But yeah, you do have to admit, the movie did plummet to 26%. That's not good. That's horrible, to be honest. Plummeting a whopping 26%. Or what is it? No, let's see. It was 92, I think, at the time. I don't know what's in the math. It's in the 60-something percent. I don't know. That is a plummet right there. That is horrible. They were like, fine, we don't want to have this stupid, easily manipulated thing taken down. Happy for that, because I hated it, and I don't think the thing should have ever existed. And you might be saying, the signs are here. It's going to happen. Oh, poor Captain Marvel. 50,000 people don't want to see it. Oh, no. It's not like 1 million plus people are going to see the dang thing on opening weekend. God. Okay, sorry. I think it's dumb. I think Captain Marvel will be a profit. And I think we're all going to forget about the stupid tweet thing. So, yeah. I don't honestly want to talk about a movie today, because I hate the movie too much to. So I might add some other category to talk about after it. But let's talk about Planes, the Disney movie. From the company Disney. You know, the company who made your childhood. The Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. Burped out this. I never thought, like, your movie sucks said he never thought a movie could be farted into existence. Well, I never knew a movie could be burped into existence, because I don't know what this movie was. I don't know what the dang point of it was. But I can say it sucks. And it should be burned in hell. And I hate it. And it is the perfect example of a movie that is so cliche that it is god-awful. I hate Planes so much. It is one of the worst animated movies that was theatrically released I've ever seen. No. It's not Norm of the North bad. It's not Emoji Movie bad. It's not Chicken Little bad. It's around that area. And Chicken Little, yes, it's a Disney movie, fair. And I freaking hate it, and I hate Disney for making it. But the movie was made by inexperienced idiots who didn't know how to make an animated movie, and then made the most unfunny, outdated, completely obnoxious, disgusting movie. Planes is made by competent people. It's made by the competence of Cars 2. And if I were to give my opinions on the Cars movies, I am one of those weirdos that really likes the original Cars. I grew up with it. I don't get the hate behind it. I mean, I guess, is it as good as the predecessor before it? No. It's nowhere near Toy Story. Or what was before? Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc. Nowhere near those movies. but it is still a good animated movie that I really enjoy watching. I like the ending message. The score is great. I think it's a great movie. I really like Cars. Cars 2 is one that a lot of people hate, and I can't hate it because I, weirdly enough, grew up with Cars 2. That is how young I am. That a 2010s movie was kind of my childhood. I had at least 50 cars from Cars 2. I thought it was the coolest movie ever. I don't think it's any good now. And like I'll say, some people hate it, but that again, you're kind of saying, oh, it's a Pixar movie, so you're hiding it to a higher standards, so you shouldn't rate it like that, which I'm fine with. But like I said, maybe Crimes of Grindelwald. No, Crimes of Grindelwald, I gave it 2. I think I'm moving that one down to a 3. I might do that. I hate that. Every day I hate Grindelwald, the movie, whatever. Crimes of Grindelwald, I hate it. But Planes is a terrible movie because of what we're looking at here. Talents, I like the animation on the movie. It's bland. The characters suck in their styles, but it's competent, kinda. I think the whole thing about this movie was I don't want to rate it. I'll consider it a Disney movie, but if I were to rank every Disney animated movie, like every Disney CGI animated movie, you know, the new ones like Moana, Zootopia, or even go back to Bolts and Meet the Robinsons, I would not include this movie there because it is by the same people who make the, what are they called? The little, Tinkerbell stuff. They make those. So I can't really go rant out on this movie. I mean, I could do that any day, but I'm not gonna go out and say that Disney that it's the worst Disney movie ever. It's not as bad as Chicken Little, but I'm not. If I ever did a ranking like that, I would not include Planes in there. And the good reason why is because it's an incompetent film made by cliches among cliches. Like you'll see. So look, I'm someone who thinks that movies aren't necessarily bad if there are cliches in them. I mean, a lot of the time they do. Are the cliches can bog a movie down, sure, but I'm not one to think that your movie is already garbage if you had a couple cliches in there. But this is an example of a movie, or like How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, the movie's absolutely cliche. You've seen the whole damn thing before, but the movie is at least good in its execution. It tells a competent and interesting story. It gives a good emotion. And How to Train Your Dragon 1 is still a great movie, and I still think it's a great animated movie. And that's the thing with cliches. Cliche does not equal terrible for me. That being said, it can make a movie suck, like this one, because it makes it predictable. And this is the most predictable piece of crap anyone's ever made. I could see the whole dang thing a mile away. I could see every plot point, everything. The movie does nothing new and original. Nothing at all. The comedy is just not funny. It's weirdly enough puns. I don't get the decision there. I think it was to make you cringe. Yeah, the love interest scene, crappy. It's such a cringe fest. It's a cringe cliche fest. That is what it is. Goosebumps 2. Remember that movie from a couple months ago? Yeah, friggin' hated it. And I get why people like it. Some people do love it. And I'm like, no, not at all. And here's why I hate Goosebumps 2. Because the movie is so dang cliche and cringy, and I could barely stand the experience of it. And I will go on the same for this movie. It is a cringe fest that I can't sit through. I could never watch it again. It is painful to the best bone. The best thing I can say is the animation's good. Other than that, at this point, I feel so sick of this world because I didn't even really give what I think on Cars 2. Had my life embedded in my childhood embedded in the movie. Upon rethinking it, it's not good. It has a lot of the formula to make a really dumb, kind of stupid Bond-style movie. Pixar movies shouldn't be that, and a Cars movie shouldn't be that. But when years upon reflection, you do take into consideration that this movie just couldn't have been good. I don't hate it. Cars 3, on the other hand, was not... None of them are... Okay, so Cars 1 is great. The other 3, if you're going to count Planes, none of them are definitely great. I think Cars 3 is good. I say that in a very questioning voice because I'm not exactly sure how much I think of that movie. Sometimes I do think sometimes it has gone lower than Cars 2. Because what I'll say about Cars 3 is it's a more ambitious movie than Cars 2. I mean, unless you want to say Cars 2 is incredibly ambitious because it's like spies and stuff. But that was just a weird movie. I don't get the decision there. This movie, I don't get it. I don't get it. I really just don't get it. I don't get why the decision was made to make this movie. It's just a downright horrible movie. I can never watch it for a lot of reasons. It reigns as the worst Disney animated movie of the 2010s, but there are none that are bad in my opinion. What do we got? It was Bolt 2000. I think it was in the 2010s. If that is, I really like Bolt. Underrated movie. Forgettable, but it's still great. Frozen. I like it. It's fine. Wreck-It Ralph. Love it. Really love it. Big Hero 6. Love it. Moana, Zootopia. Those two I love. The new one, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Love that one. Not love. I really like. I love it. I love Ralph Breaks the Internet. You can hate on me if you want, but I think it's a really good movie. Yeah. There you go. That's what I think on all of the Disney animated movies. I don't know if I got every single one. I am tired out, of course, at this point. But Planes is an incompetent cliche movie. It is an entire... It's predictable from opening scene to ending scene. I'm going to create some more things to talk about in the next episode. But I can see every element of this movie from a mile away. I don't like a single scene in this movie. I don't like a single element other than the animation. Rate out of 10. I'd rate Planes a whopping 2 out of 10. I hate it, and I wish it would burn in hell. Round up today. Talking about KFDM Studios and the upcoming productions there. Wasn't all that interesting stuff. Rocketman. Excited for the movie. I'm really excited to see what we're going to get with Rocketman, and I'm hoping I'll like it. Captain Marvel. The controversy behind it is stupid, and the movie will most likely turn out a success, and Planes is utter garbage. If you want to be on this episode, make sure to tell me, because I will feature you. That's the best I can say. If you want to be on the podcast, you can be on it. I just need you to tell me in the comments whether you want to be on the podcast or not. If you don't want to be on the podcast, you need to tell me. I don't care if you don't want to be on it. I only care if you want to be on it. Thank you guys for listening. See you guys next time. Bye.